for me, looking back on last year, I was obviously not involved in the team as much, and it's a bit unexpected how much I've been involved this year. And so yeah, a bit unexpected, and obviously it's been going great for the team, and we seem to be bonding a lot more as a squad.
And you've been here so many years, and you've had your testimonial and stuff like that, but how does the club feel to you now compared to maybe where it has been in the past? Is there a different feel about Glentoran at the minute?
Yeah, it feels more gelled. It feels like the fans and the players are a bit more connected, and you can see it with the results that we're pulling out from, last minute winners or coming from behind, and it's something that we haven't really had in the last lot of years. And at one stage we did try nearly get there, and I think this year it's been a bit different, and we've just kept pushing and pushing.
And the cup competitions so far, still in all the cups, you've won the Shield. What do you put sort of the success down in the cup competitions so far down to, really? What's the reason that you've done so well in these cup competitions?
I think obviously you have to look at Daggy. He's been amazing since he came in. Give us a real, ability to gel as players and to produce on the pitch, and freedom to go out and express ourselves, and give us drive that they go on and win matches. Obviously the staff as well has been brilliant, but every volunteer around the club has been slowly but surely gelling into the actual squad, and I think that's breeding out into the fans, and you can hear how much that sort of brings us on in games and can turn us maybe from a 1-0 down to 2-1 up.
And the Bet McLean Cup so far, first round win against Derryview, and then the draw happens. You're drawn out away at the National Stadium against Linfield. Tell us a bit about that game, and sort of James Douglas, an academy player coming through, getting the winner. What was that like in that night to get the win against Linfield? Yeah,
it was a good night. One thing I say about James is he's a tremendous player. He's so talented. He's adapted well to the physicality, to the men's game, coming from the Rezzies. So for him, I spoke to him before, and he spoke to me loads of times thinking about that first goal and wanting to hit the back of the net and wanting to hear the crowd. And I told him I would come, and it couldn't have came at a better moment for us. And I think he deserved it that night. He played really well, and he was at the right place at the right time.
And I think there's actually a photo of you after the game with the fans, and you've got the cut and you've got your arms around him. Like it just showed this squad at the minute that it's got the academy players coming through, and then the new players that have come in are giving so much to the team too at the moment. Yeah,
and a lot of credit to the boys. There's boys coming from England, from far away, and starting anew basically. And it's my kind of job to try and make sure that that's an easy settlement for them, and hopefully that I've done my job well, and that they feel at home and feels like, as much as I felt Glentoran is a family club, that they feel that too.
And the Bet McLean Cup semi-final against Crusaders, it was an absolute battle, went the extra time, and a couple of late goals got the win for the Glens in the night. But getting through that and getting to the final as an occasion in the semi-final, what was that actually like to get that win?
I was actually in the stand and felt like I kicked and headed every ball, and I was sort of going through a bit of a rough patch with injury, but everybody, the man in that team, whether you're playing or you're not playing, we're behind the squad, we're behind the team, and I think that's one characteristic that's bringing us through into these big finals and producing wins for the team.
And Declan as well, you've sort of alluded to him at the start. He's sort of talked about you and what you're like to work with, but what's Declan Devine as a Glentoran manager actually like to work with? What's he like?
Look, he's honest, he's sometimes ferocious in the change room, and really passionate about football and about wanting to win, and you can really see that the true Glentoran spirit within him. Obviously he's played here before, and I think that helps the lads and helps us understand what it means at Glentoran, and I think that I've got that from my experience at the club, and hopefully with that gelling together, hopefully it can bring more success.
And getting through to the Bet McLean Cup final, it's a competition, record-breaking crowds the last number of years. It seems to be a competition that's really on the up. From the outside, has it been something you've wanted to be involved in, looking at recent finals and how sort of successful that they've been?
Yeah, well, look, I've never played in the final, so I don't think we've won it since 2010. So it's important to be in any final that we can, just for the fans. But then obviously when you're there, it's pride and it's your own responsibility to get it over the line. But yeah, the competition itself obviously has been coming on leaps and bounds, and it's one that I haven't won before, so I would like to get it over the line.
And in the final, you face Cliftonville. It's going to be a record-breaking crowd there, but facing Cliftonville, it's one of those big games live on Sky Sports. What sort of tests are Cliftonville going to pose to this Glentoran side?
No, look, they're going to give us a good game, and they're not turning up to lose a cup final, so we know it's going to be a hard-fought victory, and we'll have to do our best to get the win.
And the Bet McLean Cup final on the day, supporters are already out in huge numbers. It's going to be a huge occasion for the fans. But the supporters this season, what's it been like to have their backing when they've turned out in their numbers home and away?
Yeah, look, it's amazing, and it's a great club to be at whenever the support is, with you and backing you, and it's better than any club in the country. And I've been telling the boys I've obviously had success at this club before, and the parties and the celebrations is stuff that you'll take to your grave.
And the Bet McLean Cup final itself, County Antrim Shield's already in the cabinet. What would it mean to you to get your hands on another piece of silverware this season, but another piece of silverware as sort of Glentoran captain? What would it mean to you?
It would mean everything. That's what I came to Glentoran for, and came to win silverware, came to win trophies, and that's never going to not going to be what I want to do.
And finally then, just looking ahead to the rest of the season, loads of league games to come, splits to come, and the Irish Cup as well. Just what's your real thoughts for the rest of the season?
Yeah, no, it's really just tick boxes and just like trying to go, like obviously we've got Coleraine here on Friday, and it's just one game at a time. I know it's an old cliche, but you really can't get too far ahead of yourself, especially in this league. It's all about moving forward. You can't really stand still, so it's getting as much points on the board and putting as much pressure on the team above.